I just after making my last video I understood something. I was thinking about something. It's a theory, but it's very interesting because, well, maybe not very much people have thought about that. About the movie Inception. There you have the son who is the main target of the movie, the son of a billionaire, maybe one of the most powerful people in the world. It's said that he is one of the two most powerful people, or, well, their empires are actually the two greatest empires and in the modern world in the movie. So it's very important that the main idea is to put an inception base idea on a very deep level of subconsciousness, of consciousness in the mind of the son of the, in this case, European, well, billionaire. And it was very important because the balance would be, well, broken if this didn't happen. That was the explanation. And now think about something, putting that in the biblical meaning, because the greatest movies are based on the Bible, and you can make some sort of, you can compare them to the Bible, and you see that literally nearly every of the most popular movies, and Inception was and is still one of the most popular movies with the most viewers, are based on the Bible. So I'm simply wanting to put some, well, to share a thought about, well, maybe it's about, it could be the deceived son could be only one of, well, several, because most of them have not fallen, and this is the only son, so in the movie, so this has to be one of the greatest sons of God if it was in the biblical meaning. So if it was that scenario, because I will tell you about another movies, you see they're literally one, that if they are compared to the Bible, they could be literally the same. And this one is not so, well, it's different. It's interesting because it cannot be compared as the same 100% compared to the Bible, but there's something that have to be thought on here, because it's very interesting theory. First of all, about the falling, because there is much falling in this movie, the motive of falling, because, well, first literally diving deep in the consciousness is some kind of falling in the conscious meaning of the fall. Also, well, this is what I was thinking about, and I have to, well, really, I had to share that because it's a very interesting idea. You're falling for something, you're fooled by someone, deceived, and the son is actually deceived in this situation. Then we know from the Bible text scriptures, the devil is actually incredibly intelligent, and he's using his power to deceive people. He has totally mastered this, the practice deceiving, illusions, deception, and whatsoever, these kind of things. So also we know that many are believing that the devil has something to do, and I'm talking about before Lucifer, the first fallen, because we know that there was already lower dimensions which were explored by the sons of God, or at least, well, some creatures who were with celestial nature before the fall of Lucifer, and it's very well, it's really interesting for me because, well, you can explain many things this way, and it's really helpful if you thought about it. So now he has fallen for the son in the movie. The son of the billionaire has fallen for the idea that his father was actually wanting to tell him not that he has to be more like him, which is, well, the main idea maybe is that also God wanted, we cannot really know that, but his sons to follow his orders, and I mean the angelic orders, to follow his orders, and the humankind, they have the power of choice. They can choose, but actually they are not so powerful, and they could become eventually, and here we are talking about people who have already reached the top. So in some ways, of course, but the idea is that we know that it's a cycle, and what is written in heaven is forever being, and it is just that it is. And so here is that this son, if he was at the place of Lucifer, so this was after following some cycles, this is happening again. This was happening again, if we are thinking in that manner. So this son could be actually deceived, but he didn't choose to be deceived. He has been deceived by a very, well, forceful kind of, it's literally the will of the other side, yes, making him fall for this, because they are making it not on first or second, or even it's in the third, well, hell of a consciousness. It's on the third level below, so it's very hard to understand what's down there. If you're in the real world, if you awake and you don't know what has happened down on the third level of subconsciousness, it's not so easy. So if we are following that idea, we can prescribe that maybe in heaven it was something like that, some sort of, because we have some well, some people have reached information that other races have actually, by somehow in the space-time continuum, because Lucifer was very moving. He was kind of always on a mission, like most of the archangels. Was some kind of reached by another civilization, which was also well prepared in scientific way of preparation. They were very good at science, and there are many versions of who that race was, but they had something to do with the woman part of the celestial nature. We eventually know that. And also we have some information that the God of humanity has, but it's not the greatest of all beings. It's not the word of the God of humanity, not the word. The God of humanity has been by somehow reached by parasites. It's one of the versions also. So it doesn't matter if they're material or spiritual, but some kind of illness, some kind of sickness, which has been keeping this God of humanity down for some reason, and it's a very interesting theory. But my point is that it makes sense because these movies, so high budget movies, are not made only for fun. Most of them they have messages, and well, maybe this has something to do. I have to think more about it, but I was making this video because of the simple idea that eventually an archangel could be deceived by the forces of the lower dimensions, even against their own will. That's my I have to be thinking about that. And is it really possible? Because, well, it's hard to believe that, but we know that some of the demons are making their only way of doing something evil is if the other side actually wants their help. They cannot touch, well, maybe they can touch, but they cannot really screw something until the other side wants their help. But they can eventually forcefully make the other side to wish their help, and that's another story. Even some of the greatest maybe have had at least a thought about it. So thinking of that manner, that case is for me could be really, I will know, interesting topic, and we'll be eventually talking about that in the future. We'll see. But I will probably be talking about that if I find something interesting. Is it possible or not, or something like that. Otherwise, it's a nice topic, so for you to think about it. That's it for now.